Shalom, Kol Haloyim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakudash, Shanya Kabad, Gadwala Requab, Zaquanyam Nawa, Wa Shalayakim Nawa. That's the belongings to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, Wabarakim, Labakoyim, Shalayasharala. And that's peace and blessings to the elect of Israel. So the elder of our camp, the head of our camp, Zaquan Monaghan, he actually sent this article in our little group chat on WhatsApp. And so I thought it was a good video, or I thought it could make a good video. And I wanted to bring this out because, of course, we know a famine is coming. And this kind of sheds some light, if at all it matters, in terms of why, of course, as the title says, why grocery prices keep surging. And it's basically due to a lack of employees. The food supply chain is taking a detrimental hit right now. And just overall cost is going up because of labor shortage and, lack of supplies. And so this is all basically biblical prophecy, as we know that America has to be destroyed in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established here on earth. But this is all going to lead into a famine, one thing that we constantly preach over here at GMS. So without further ado, we're probably going to watch maybe a minute to a minute and a half into this video, just to hit the main points, maybe read a little bit of the article, and then we'll grab some precepts. So I pray that this is edifying to the elect.
It's real tough.
For Mike Crowder, finding affordable food has been difficult. He's battling cancer and living on a tight budget.
It's hard for me to get out here and work and be around people. Sometimes, you just have to do without some things to eat.
Grocery costs keep climbing on everything from meat to seafood, produce, cereal, and much more, with overall prices up 9% from a year ago.
It feels like I'm paying a lot more at the register when I finally do check out.
Now, big-name brands are raising prices. Kraft Heinz is the latest, announcing hikes on Velveeta cheese, Oscar Mayer meats, coffee, and Kool-Aid, joining General Mills, Campbell's Soup, and Procter & Gamble, which is raising the price of Tide laundry products.
So they put off as long as possible, and now we're going to feel the effect of that for the next few months.
The entire food supply chain is facing surging costs, congestion, and a labor shortage, which have hardly improved. The number of cargo ships parked off the California coast hit a record high in January, with more than 100 still waiting, even after the ports unloaded 13% more containers than ever before in 2021. The cost of ingredients, packaging, and transportation keeps skyrocketing.
The extraordinary cost pressure that we're seeing across all different businesses right now is landing in that last resort, and that's why you're seeing the inflation.
And Omicron is adding to it, peeling workers from warehouses, processing facilities, and grocery stores. This month, U.S. pork production dropped 8% in just a week, with staff sick or quarantined. With fewer employees, distributors are cutting orders to some grocery stores by 20 to 40%.
It's been whack-a-mole. It's one item one day and then, a completely different segment the next.
And demand for groceries keeps surging, with people stuck at home and inflation at a 39-year high.
A lot of times you're limited with what you can get.
A recent survey found 37% of customers are very concerned about shortages seen on items like pet food, paper goods, and cream cheese.
There's just not as many things on the shelf.
Okay, so the video is 3 minutes long, about another minute left, but that's the point. So we're basically seeing labor shortages, we're seeing inflation, we're seeing the cost of transportation and the cost of different services, products, I'll say, increase, and also workers getting laid off because of the O variant, and so on and so forth. And so basically the Most High, within what we always say is algorithm, the Most High playing chess here, is basically devising the downfall of Babylon the Great right before our eyes. And it's a beautiful thing to see because we've been given the understanding of prophecy, and it's great to know why certain things are happening in this world. It's all for the purpose of prophecy. So, we don't even have to read any of the article because the video basically said it all. I'm sure the article is just going to sum up some of the major points that the video said. But if you want to read it, Of course, just type this in, why grocery prices keep surging. This is from CNN. Definitely check it out. Make a video on it if the spirit hits you. If not, it's just good info to have for yourself. So without further ado, I'm going to jump over here, 2 Esdras 15. I'll start at verse 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears. Close. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So these things that we're about to read are faithful and true, meaning they're going to come to pass. Verse 3 says, Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity or lack of faith or unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. And I'm sure you have a lot of, I'll even say previous scorners, or I'll just say scorners and mockers in the past that are now seeing everything that we've been talking about right in front of their face. I'm sure everybody is noticing the lack of items at the grocery store. My woman just told me yesterday that she went shopping and had to go to 3 different stores before she could find just like chicken. 3 different stores. And the last one she finally found it was out shopping for over an hour, basically. Probably an hour and a half. Just trying to find certain products. But you know what? That's the time that we're living in right now. And we don't have to worry about it. As the hopeful elect, we believe and have faith that as long as we continue being profitable servants unto the Lord and doing his work, then he's going to watch out for us. The scriptures say to strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. But getting back to the point here in verse 3, or in verse 4, it says, All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. All those previous scorners, mockers, they're seeing now that the things that we've been saying are coming to pass. And if some of them, or I'll say if they don't repent, then they're going to die in their unfaithfulness. And that could just be a famine. Who knows? Verse 5 here is the point. It says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. Now what we're about to read is faithful and true. It says the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So famine is coming, and that's a major plague. It's a major plague. Just imagine not having any food, not knowing where your next meal is coming from, not having any water around you. I mean, it's a very traumatizing scenario. And if you don't have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in these days moving forward, then you're going to be left in the dark, left in utter confusion. But once again, I like to always bring that balance. As long as we continue striving for the truth unto death, we don't have anything to worry about. But famine is coming, and we have to warn our people and let them know what's ahead. And not only do we let our people know what's coming, but we also give the answers to be protected and kept safe during that time. And it's a very simple answer. Just believe in Yahushua. Have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's the simple answer for everything, no matter what you're going through. And the Lord is going to take care of you. I want to jump over here to the book of Isaiah. Actually, Isaiah. I'm just going to type in the word balm. I think it's either, not Isaiah, Jeremiah. Jeremiah 51, I'm glad I typed it in. Verse 8, it says, verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. And this is speaking of a spiritual Babylon that around this time was not there, I'll just say. One that would be coming, which is Babylon the Great, where you read about in the book of Revelation, which is America. Hope I didn't confuse anybody. This is speaking or prophesying about a future Babylon to come. So now verse 8 says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. if so be she may be healed. And balm is basically a healing ointment. So it's a metaphor, an analogy basically saying to heal Babylon. But what does verse 9 say? We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So Babylon, aka America, is not going to be healed. Everything that's going on in terms of these food supply chain shortages, just the supply chain in general, labor shortages, inflation, these ships that are just sitting there at the dock and have the supplies just waiting there as well. All these things are not going to get better. It's only going to get worse and worse. The scriptures say, remember, as a woman in travail. It's going to be the same exact way. Those birth pains get harder and faster the closer the woman gets to delivering the child. Well, that's exactly how the plagues are going to come upon Babylon. And that's how we know that things are not going to get, quote unquote, better, I'll say, in terms of the economy prospering. But it is better for the elect because we need these things to happen. So Babylon's not going to be healed. Look for things to get worse. Just to be very frank, look for things just to get worse, for there to be even less food available at your local grocery store. And no matter what, continue to rely and have faith on or in, I'll say, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now, I had the apocrypha. I was in 2nd Ezra, so I might as well jump over here. One scripture I always like to grab, just when it comes to hope, I'll say. 2nd Ezra 2 verse 26 says, As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, especially when there's famine and they can't eat. It says, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. So we're going to be okay. You have to believe that. You have to truly believe these words. Remember, all these words of the Lord are faithful and true. So when the scriptures say that we're going to be merry and have abundance, we have to believe it. No matter how bad things get, no matter what the situation looks like, we have to remember scriptures like this and trust in the Lord's word, which is Yahushai. Verse 28 says, The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith the Lord. So with that being said, just wanted to grab a few quick precepts on this video. Didn't want to make it too long. We know that famine is right around the corner, and we basically see it. We see it progressing to that point as grocery prices continue to surge, just like this article says. So call Haloyim, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakudash. I pray that this video was edifying to the elect. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Shalom.